poor guy's traveling. He's on time zone differences, and he still made time for me today. He's the man.
Yeah, well, I'm making time, but I just finished 4 days of demoing at the Lowe's hardware show, and I don't have much of a voice left.
Oh, that's funny, because that's where Catherine is. Catherine Emery, she's the same place. So let's talk about you, Aaron. I see you got like new products. You got a new store going up. Man, I look at where this guy came from, literally where he came from on this product. From Shark Tank, he was already kicking it before that. And now where he is today, it's insane, absolutely insane.
Well, I don't think we've even gotten started yet. We actually built our own studios. We have a brand new 125,000 square foot warehouse in Pennsauken, New Jersey.
Which is brand new, right? Brand new.
Absolutely brand new. And we're going to put our own retail store there. We have our own television studios where I do all the QVC shows around the world now. And in addition, we're actually starting our own cleaning channel. And if you're not following us on TikTok, come on, man, we set the world on fire on that one.
Dude, I think the best one I saw with you on TikTok was you're the Godfather, and you got Will. I'm like, this guy's killing me. That was a home run. That was the best one. Oh my God.
My voice sounds like that now.
I don't get it. All right, so let's talk about this new corporate building. The last time we did this show, I don't remember, probably a year ago, that was gonna open up later in the fall of 2021. So I take it did. I saw the pictures. Talk about that a little bit, because that thing looks state of the art. Looks pretty amazing.
Yeah, 100%. So we outgrew about 48,000 square feet. We were operating out of 3 different buildings, and the business was really it was disjointed, and I had employees in one building, another building, the collaboration wasn't as unique. So we decided to start looking to move. I put a compass down around our current location, and I drew a 15-mile circle. And I said, if we move anywhere in here, we won't lose any employees. And we started looking, and I found this incredible warehouse that had just been sitting there vacant for 3 years with a brand new roof on it. And Will and I went in there and rehabbed the building. We put in about $4 million of renovations and about $1.5 million of solar on the roof. And we're completely off the grid. We have 6 electric charging stations. 8 of my employees, including me, drive electric cars. And we power about 250 homes in Pennsauken, New Jersey, and get paid for it.
Yeah, beautiful. Look at that. And talk about the pandemic. That had to have I know you were telling me how you kept everybody employed. I mean, all that. I mean, it just shows you not just the product is great. Aaron is great. I mean, everything he does is just amazing to the community, to his people, helping out us on these shows.
And top notch. Talk about that
a little bit.
I appreciate that, guys, very much. I mean, I think you have a huge obligation as you have a successful business to take care of the people who got you there and continue to make sure that they come along for the ride. The pandemic was really actually quite difficult. I was going to shut down until we got letters from Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Target, and they said, you're considered an essential product in the cleaning category. You're not to shut down. In fact, you're to ramp up. And if you miss orders, then we're going to start fighting you. So we did. We ramped up, and I went in every day. Most of the office went remote, but people in the warehouse couldn't do that. So I went in every day, made sure they knew I was with them, and we raised everyone's salaries. And it was hard. It definitely was hard. People to line up in the morning to everyone get temperature tested and fill out surveys, and to move a lot of our equipment apart so people were 6 feet distance. But we made it through. And interestingly enough, I mean, we were the unintended beneficiary of a pandemic, right? Because cleaning went absolutely nuts.
Yep.
And everybody just started, cleaning off the shelves. And this crazy thing happened. All these customers that had thought that we were just a smiley face sponge, just a gimmick. Well, our products were like one of the last ones on the shelf. And we moved all our manufacturing to the United States a couple of years ago. And so we didn't really have any supply issues either. So we were on the shelf, and almost everyone else is sold out. And now someone was forced to buy our sponge, and then they were converted, and now they're a customer for life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're like in every retail store, everywhere I go. I always send them pictures. Dude, you're getting low. You better fill this shelf back up. He's everywhere. I mean, grocery stores. You name the store, he's in it. I don't know any other product just has that much visibility.
And you're forgetting to mention that we have about 60 products in the line.
Yeah.
And most of the stores are carrying what we call a brand block. Like, so I'm here at the Lowe's show and we have 5 items. We have Scrub Daddy, Scrub Mommy, Scour Daddy, Sponge Daddy, and Eraser Daddy. And they're right there on the shelf. But they pale in comparison to us launching our new Barbecue Daddy.
Whoa.
Oh, you just slid that one in. Let's see that one.
Look at that.
That's pretty cool. Look at that.
Yeah, so we're about to revolutionize the barbecue cleaning world. So I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the way I work in inventions is I have to have an experience. I really don't sit around and go, what can I invent? You know, I have to have an experience that impacts my life. And then I start thinking about it and working on it. And if it's something that really bothers me or causes injury, then I really go to work on it. And, you know, one day I was watching this news article where somebody was cleaning their barbecue with the brush. And that night when they ate the burgers, there was a 2-inch bristle that had stayed on the grill and they ate it. And it got stuck in their throat and they had to go and get like emergency surgery. And I kept thinking, that's the craziest thing ever. Like, what are the chances that that one bristle isn't going to fall through the grates? You know what I mean? I just thought it was all hype. So that night I go home and I clean the barbecue before my wife makes us burgers. And I'm scrubbing and I'm looking. I don't see anything. I bite into this burger and a 2-inch bristle goes straight into the roof of my mouth. I pull this thing out and I was like, oh my God, it almost just happened to me. And then I was like, we have to change that. No one should be using bristles. And so we started this project on, you know, what could we use? And about 6 months later, we had just finished doing this project on making a new product called Scour Daddy Steel. And that was where we took our Scour Daddy product, which is a knitted product. It's a knitted mesh that we slide a Scrub Daddy inside of. And it gives it incredible scrubbing properties. Well, we replaced one of the loops, one of the threads, with stainless steel thread. And it turns the thing into like the most aggressive scouring pad ever. Not something that you should use on like delicate surfaces, but damn, it is in all applications where you really need that power, like when you're really like on a barbecue grill, that's what you want to use. And that led me to the idea of what if we made, you know, interchangeable scrubbing heads that are made of that Scour Daddy steel fabric. And we would use this and you could slide it in and you'd have replaceable heads. And then you dip it into water. And as you're scrubbing, it will.
Wow. It is crazy.
Yeah, I think he's back.
Yes.
Yeah, you're back. Go ahead. Keep going. Talk about the interchangeable heads.
Yeah, so with the interchangeable heads, it's got Scrub Daddy material inside it. So you dip it into cold water, it freezes it up, soaks up all the water like a sponge, and then you hit the hot grill. And as you hit the hot grill, it softens the Scrub Daddy material, releases the water, and you literally steam clean and wash your grill. It's the greatest thing ever.
Oh my God.
And there's no bristles at all.
Look at that. You know, and I keep thinking, I keep having this vision of 3M buying out your other company and then leaving that box of Scrub Daddies behind saying, yeah, we don't want those. What are they saying now?
Well, they're saying a lot of 4-letter words now because the latest data that just came out basically says that we're the second largest sponge company in the country, directly behind them. And their sales last year are down 8.3%. The category of sponges and scrubbers is down about 5%. Private labels down about 6%, and Scrub Daddy is up 100%.
Yeah. Wow.
So they're not having a good time.
So we talk about American dreams. Here's the American dream. So Aaron, what do you got to tell America? What do you want to tell everybody? You started out, right? You never worked like you always talk about your dad or one of your parents being a doctor and nurse, and you know, and here's Aaron owning a car wash. Well, I know they're not saying that now, right? So what do you got? What would you tell somebody starting out in business?
Well, I mean, the first thing is I always had a passion for business, and I always had a passion for hard work. And, you know, that was instilled in me by my dad. My parents they never just gave me, they always made me work for it. And so I always respected my hard work. And if I did something, I always did it right. And I always wanted the customer to be happy. And I always wanted to make my own money. And I was always proud of what I had accomplished. And that was kind of started it. But, you know, I have a little bit of a unique situation because I always felt also like I was an inventor, and I always saw problems in the world from the time I was growing up. And I just pursued that. You know, the biggest thing about that is that ideas and inventions are like fleeting moments in time. And most people have great ideas and they don't act on them. But the difference between them and me is when I have a good idea, I literally email it to myself and it sits in my inbox and harasses me for days. And eventually I start Googling it. And if I get to the point where I can't find it and I think there's a market for it, then I go to my patent lawyer and I start the actual patent process. And then I start the process of trying to make prototypes. So that's one of my biggest advice is like, if you have the idea, make sure you take it from like this intangible thing called an idea and you put it into something hard that is in stone, like an email, or you write a note to yourself. And that way you don't forget it. And, you know, eventually you'll work on, because the last thing you want to do, and this happened to me many times, and it happened to Lori Grenier, you know, my business partner from Shark Tank. And she talks about this happening to her all the time. She had a great idea and she didn't act on it. And a couple of years later, she saw it in the store and it was doing unbelievable. And she kicked herself and said, I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Great advice.
Sure.
Great advice, man.
It's that light bulb moment. Well, you're going to revolutionize the barbecue industry. There's no doubt with that. Because I mean, I knew of Aaron's product, the Scrub Daddy, before I knew Aaron. I mean, I didn't even know what it was. I mean, Brandy's mother had given it to her, and we were using. She came home and said, "Look at the stainless steel. I cleaned it all." I'm like, "What did you use?" I used this smiley face sponge. I'm like, "Really? What the hell is it?" So we start, and then I met Aaron afterwards. So that's a sign of a good product, right? I didn't buy it because I knew Aaron. We bought it because it was a great product. Now that I know Aaron, it's that much better. But again, it's a test of time of how good a product is. So I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Shark Tank a little bit, right? We both had a little bit of experience on Shark Tank. So talk about that a little bit. Like what do you tell people who want to get on Shark Tank? For me, it was season 12, grand finale, very different now, 12 years later, right? They're really hard, a little bit harder on how they weed people out and background checks. Talk about that a little bit. What kind of advice would you give to folks that want to get on season 14?
Well, I mean, the first thing about getting on Shark Tank is that you have to have a really good idea and pitch. And when you go to sell it to them, and when I say sell it, I think at this point, right, you can probably speak to this more because I was in season 4. I just sent an email to Shark Tank. I searched it up. I found there was a forum and I sent in, and I had a pitch refined already because I was already on QVC. So I kind of knew what I wanted to do. And I actually linked them to my video, which was probably the best thing that anyone can do is take a video of yourself doing that 2 or 3 minute pitch. So they're going to see what you're like in front of a camera and how that's going to show in front of the sharks and also how that's going to show in front of America. And that's what I did. And then they called me and I went through like a 2 or 3 month interview process. And eventually they flew me out to Los Angeles to do that pitch in front of like 30 executives from Sony and ABC. And like, that's where you just leave everything out. You don't all 100% of your energy you give to that. I mean, you tell me, did they tell you the same thing? They took us into groups of 3 with our bags packed. And they said, you're going to do your pitch. No one's going to talk to you. They're all behind laptops. They'll all press a button. It will go up to one guy in the front. He'll stand up. If it's a thumbs up, you're going to go and film with the sharks in a couple of days. If it's a thumb down, they take you to the van and you get on the plane and go home.
Yeah, no.
Did they do that?
No, mine was different because it was COVID, right? So I was selected, but I had to do all the videos. I had to submit everything. The last one was with Mark Burnett and Clay were looking at it. They said, make sure this last video is perfect because the top execs the producers are going to see it. So he sent it. The next thing I know, I was getting a flight and basically they flew me and put me in a room because it was in Vegas in a COVID bubble. So I had 10 days in my room. I couldn't even go in the hallway. It was brutal. I mean, to even think about that, I first said, okay, how bad can it be? It's awful because you're reciting this pitch. It's changing. You're doing everything on Zoom. There's delays. Then the 11th day you get called downstairs and I got called at 11. I didn't pitch until 5. You get one walkthrough and that's it. Like land in that spot. Don't screw it up.
I think that they filmed it where I'm sitting right now in the Venetian.
Yeah,
Is
correct.
that accurate?
Yeah. Yep. So
Yeah,
this picture being
that's
locked in,
amazing.
I had a suite. So when you first walk in, it was like, bathroom on the left, bedroom, and then like a little living room overlooking the pool and all of Vegas through this beautiful window. And I couldn't even go in the hallway.
You can't go.
For 10 days. And they had cameras.
Well, listen,
they had people walking the hallways, everything.
I think what you're saying is the same thing. Like, if you want to go on Shark Tank, you got to give it all.
It's a huge
100%.
commitment. It was a huge commitment. 100%.
It's a huge commitment. It's a huge commitment.
And once you're in, you're in. There's no turning back.
Even for me.
Yeah. And I found like, it was, and it's pretty intense, right? I mean, I've had some experience in front of a camera like you did. So, but even that moment, I mean, you can see the picture behind me, right? Even that moment of walking down that hallway and seeing these guys, it was kind of surreal. Like it didn't even look like, am I on TV? Are these guys really here? One of those things.
Yeah, I can tell you, I actually had an out of body experience. So you were saying like you were finding your pitch in the hotel room. I mean, I was doing the same thing for days and days, just refining the pitch. Like, and I had it down to the point where I wasn't even thinking about it. I walked down the hall and those doors open. Like the first thing I noticed, which was actually upsetting, is that the door opens and it looks like this incredible like mechanical door that opens up. Yeah, it was just a guy with like a little lever.
All the props.
I was like, I'm standing there. I'm looking at this guy, and he's like, "You ready?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he like just pulls a rope, and opens the doors. I was like, that is so anticlimactic. And then you're going down the hallway, and the second thing I go, no way, those aren't even shark tanks. They're just screens. Right. I mean, I thought they were like fish tanks going down, But when I walked in and
see if he comes back. I can finish that. That's because I can tell you when I walked down, like, he's back. Go ahead. Go ahead. When you were walking down,
you guys have me back?
Yeah, go ahead. You're walking down the hallway.
So I don't know if you heard the part where I told you. I mean, the fish tanks are not fish tanks; they're just screens. Right. So that was kind of upsetting too. And then I got in, and when I started my pitch, I swear I felt like I floated out of my body, and I started watching myself do the pitch. Yeah. And my hands were doing all the right things. I could hear it. I was like, "Oh, nice job! Yeah, you scrubbed that well, Aaron." Like, and the whole thing was muscle memory. I did it completely out of my body. And when I finished the pitch, it was like, and I was like, oh my God, I just finished my pitch and all the sharks are laughing and they're all like smiling. And I was like, and then Damon goes to me, that was like a live infomercial. And I was like, yeah, I killed it.
It's funny because it's true. I mean, like, I felt like it was surreal. The best way someone described it to me that was on the set after we did our pitch, he said it was like I was in a car crash and I was literally watching myself crash in front of them. He said it was like, I couldn't even believe, like my wife thought they were like wax dolls. They didn't even seem real. So like what you said, I had gone through this pitch. I was tired of it. 10 days, every morning, 2 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Then they change it. Then we change it. I got to keep doing it. Got to keep memorizing it. Our emotions, where to put stuff, where to throw it. I'm like, I just want to do this. But when I was given a pitch, like you said, I don't even remember like doing it. It just, and the pitch came out great. It was like, wow.
Exactly.
You just
do
it.
And so if you want to go on Shark Tank, you don't want to be the one that walks in and goes,
yeah, Sal D. Paola, if you're listening.
Yeah.
But honestly,
you want to rip it off.
Yeah, I can appreciate that now more than ever. Like after, like I remember telling Sal, you froze. You know how bad you looked? You looked like just completely lost your way. Right. So I'm like, then after being on it, I called him and said, okay, I see what happened now. I can see how that could happen. Because I mean, I didn't feel nervous, honestly. Like you said, I felt like an out of body experience. It felt surreal, but I could see how someone could easily freeze and not get themselves back to where they need to go. I could see that happening.
Yeah. If you do freeze, completely freeze, or you can't remember your pitch and they yell cut, it's over.
Right.
There's no retake. There's literally no retake. It's sorry, next. and you're done. And so you blow that chance. That is your once in a lifetime chance.
Yeah, especially with that.
And so you want to be prepared. And when you go to Shark Tank, not only prepared for your pitch, but like I read, if any of the sharks had written a book, I read that book. I watched every episode of Shark Tank multiple times. I already knew Damon was going to ask me about this. Laura was going to ask me about patents. I knew O'Leary was going to like rip me on my valuation. And like, I had actually lines prepared for like, oh, if you say something rude, like, a lot of times they'll say your product sucks and you're dumb and get out. And the entrepreneur will go, thank you. I was like, they're lucky I don't say F you.
Yeah,
like, there's no way I'm saying thank you. Yeah. So I was like, well, what is my answer going to be when someone goes out? And I was like, you got to be humble. But at the same time, you got to say something that lets them know, like, you're not happy about it. Right. And also that the public wants to back you now that they didn't do it. Like Robert said to me, which is the craziest thing ever, right? You just said we're in every retail store. Robert goes, I don't see the retail vision. I'm out.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
How do you like me now?
And I said, sorry, in my mind, I looked down and I was like, I understand. And then and then quietly I said that you have no idea what retail is.
Yeah,
and moved on. Mark Cuban said that he wasn't a scrub pimp.
Yeah.
And I was like,
he wants to be one now.
Oh yeah. He actually sent me a little video card and he said, to my scrub pimp, you're killing it. He sent me a really nice video card for my birthday. Yeah, and he calls me his scrub pimp now.
Yeah, but you're so right. Like being prepared. I mean, Chris Landano been trying to get on Shark Tank for a long time. He got on America's Big Deal, but he had like every single question they ever asked. He gave me for 10 days. I did what you said. I watched every Shark Tank episode. I could recite them back. I knew every question they were going to ask because some of the questions, like they asked me, you're either prepared or you're not. I had an answer for everything. That's kind of what Damon said later. I would have done the same thing you did. You evaluated high on future sales, but I went at it like I was professional, but I had an answer for everything. And even O'Leary, like he was saying something about at the time about Walmart and we should have pivoted sooner. And I said, buddy, have you been to Walmart lately? I said, you probably don't do your own shopping. I get it. But I go to Walmart every single week and I look and see no one's in it. They're all in the food section. So, they didn't show any of that, right? They made it really good entertaining. But to your point, absolutely. And I guess I suppose this is where I can thank you a little bit, Chris, for bothering me for 10 days with all those questions that you made me read.
Aaron, what's up, brother?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. I was keeping him off the ledge. He was trying to figure out how to get the window open to go out.
I'm not kidding. By the 5th day, man, I was like, and it was over a weekend. So it was like a Tuesday. And I had to do tests before, tests after, tests again before I went in, tests during. But it was like a Tuesday all the way through a weekend to the following Friday. It was like, wow. Normally in Vegas, 10 days is a lifetime already. 10 days in your room is an eternity. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's something I would recommend.
You Definitely. Had a totally different experience. Let's hope that that's not the experience that new entrepreneurs are going to have. When they refilm Shark Tank. No, and let's hope Shark Tank stays on as a platform because it really has created some incredible things. It's changed my life forever. But many people, even with that, people that didn't get deals, still got incredible exposure and that experience, and it's catapulted them into success, and it's created an entire macro economy of new products, and I think it's spurred on a lot of people and a lot of kids to want to invent, and I think that's the really most amazing thing about the show is people now are much more creative because they're like, I could do that. I want to make an invention. I want to pitch to the sharks.
Yeah, and think about the kids that watch it. I mean, we had kids on today at noon with Innovation World. I'm telling you, they should hear these kids. They were in England, South Africa, incredibly intelligent. Like I couldn't believe what I was listening to. 2nd grade, 5th grade, 7th grade. I'm thinking I wasn't doing that when I was in 2nd grade. I can assure you that. Pretty cool stuff. Let's close and talk about your store. I saw you now. You got this whole store going up. Let's talk about what's going to be in it. I know you got this this online store that you always tell me it just blows it up, right? You're always selling out of stuff. It's custom items for holidays. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it really started with QVC. I needed to have sometimes a retail comparison to either a product that wasn't selling that they had an exclusivity on, or just I needed to make a comparison to the discounted price that they were going to have. And so we created like a direct to consumer store, you know, an e-commerce store, but not really to sell to people, because I didn't want to compete with Walmart and Target. I didn't want to go into a buyer's meeting and have them go, "Why are you guys selling cheaper than us?" Like, that would be terrible. So we just put it at, you know, the full retail price. And then I would speak about the retail price on QVC. If you went to Scrub Daddy's website right now, you'd pay $39.99, but today on QVC, it's $29.99. And you're allowed to say that through legal because we did have that store. Well, then people started going to the store and buying, like, I don't know, $1,000 a month maybe, which was fine. I mean, it was little nothings. We'd ship out, you know, 20, 30 boxes to people, fine. Then COVID hit and everyone was sitting home and all the cleaning products started selling out. And that jumped to like $5,000 a month. And every month it would go up by a couple thousand. So like by October 2020, we're doing like 10 to 15,000 a month in our own smile shop. And then I was like, this is crazy. Like, if people want to buy directly from us, you know, then we should be promoting that. And how can the Walmart buyer complain to me? I'm higher priced than them and they have to pay shipping and handling and they have to wait for it. So you should go to Walmart and get it. But if you buy it from my store, you buy it from my store. We started putting money into social media and into some influencers. And by 2021, the store was doing like $500,000 a month. And it has never slowed down.
Oh my God.
And now we just take a lot of products that I present to stores that say, you know, we're not really interested in that. You know, I'm like, okay, I'll put it on my own smile shop. So we created a soap dispenser that's called Soap Daddy that you fill with your dish liquid and you tap the top and it shoots soap directly into your sponge. You squeeze it and it shoots soap out the bottom. So we got patents on it. I show it around to the stores. They're like, nah, we don't want that. All right. I brought in 30,000 of them and I'm showing them at all the stores and no one wants it. So we're like, all right, put it on a website and we'll have a couple influencers do some videos on it. So this girl does a TikTok on it, right? She hits 18 million views on it. We sell all 30,000 of them in 24 hours.
Wow.
and we can't keep them in stock now.
And you're making a ton more money on it. I mean, that's like a dream right there, right? I mean, the whole technology, the whole planet, the TikTok, the universe is so different now for selling. That's amazing.
Oh, what I love about that, Aaron, is what you're doing is you know in your gut what works and what doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I know. I feel it. I know. Like when we have a product, because I always have designed the product around the customer, and I'm just trying to solve all of the problems, you know, that someone's going to have with that, you know, any of our products. So I just know the experience they're going to have is going to be amazing. You know, the thing about the margin, and it's cheap, it's better to buy from us because, you know, we make more margin. You know, there's a lot more expenses. Like I had to hire a full-time e-commerce manager, you know, an $80,000 position to run that, you know, and then we have all the shipping charges, and I had to.
Yeah, he's getting jumped out, but he comes back in quick. All right.
Yeah, he's in the room.
You had said all the shipping charges. You lost to go.
Yeah, so all the shipping charges, you know, and having, you know, people packing boxes all day long and hiring another customer service rep and dealing with all the influx of emails now you're doing the public, like there are expenses coming with that. And so, yeah, the margin's good, but you got to be prepared to take on a lot more challenges in business because now you're dealing with the public. So that led me to the next thing. We moved into our new headquarters, and it's on a major thoroughfare called Route 130 that has, I don't know, 250,000 cars a day drive by. Oh, no. And I have a huge sign up, and I said, you know what? We're going to put a retail store, a retail outlet, you know, at our headquarters. People can come in and we'll make it like a museum. You come in and you'll take a picture with the giant Scrub Daddy and you'll see the whole history of the company. And then you'll buy t-shirts and hats, and we design the inside of the store. It's all glass wall. And as you're in there, you can look directly into our television studios and you might catch us filming a live show.
That's awesome.
So we'll probably end up having classrooms that kids come and they'll watch me, do a live QVC show. And it's great. Like, we're going to have our own retail outlet.
Wow. You know what's great about that?
Really, the next question is, when are you going to be sitting in one of those seats? You need to be in one of those seats.
Those ones right behind.
Seriously,
Yeah.
look at. Yeah, I'll tell you what. And one thing I respect and appreciate, Aaron, that you don't have to do this stuff anymore, right? You got yourself in such a good spot now. You've got such a good national brand. You're a good person. You got good people working for you. You are living the American dream. No ifs, ands, or buts. And you're the guy behind it. You're not dishing it out. You're doing the work. You're the guy doing the work.
But what you said is that you don't have to do that. Well, actually, I do, because that's just in my blood. What am I going to do? What am I going to do instead? Sit around and watch TV? I'm having fun. I'm changing the barbecue cleaning world. To me is fun. It's really here. I'll just show you this. Look, so this handle swivels around so that you can use the scraper, and then you can flip it around, and you can use the scrubbing head, and it's got like a hook to hang up, and this one actually can pull the grates out, so you don't have to touch them, and it's got a beer bottle opener on the back.
Wow, that's awesome.
The baby's well thought out.
Now you said to me, I don't have to do that. Yeah, I do. That's a lot of fun.
Now you do. So what are you going to call that? Are you going to keep it in the line of some type of daddy?
Of course.
What does this say?
Barbecue daddy, of course. Hey, Aaron, on YouTube, I got about 100 people that want it.
There it is. He's got such a brand now, such a following. Even when I'm in stores, I'll see somebody with a scrub.
It's already out. So we launched it. It's hitting the Kroger stores first, out in the West Coast. It will be on our Smile Shop within, a week, and it will be all over Amazon probably a week or two later. So it'll be ready in time for the barbecue cleaning season. And trust me when I tell you, it's the last grill brush you'll ever use, because you change the heads out, and these are dishwasher, machine washer safe. So you just pull them out and then you just replace them with a new head. And this thing is lasting forever. So you go out and you look at your horrible looking barbecue brush, and you won't be using that anymore.
Hey,
it's fun.
Yeah. Well, this is the kind of following he has. If I'm in Bed Bath & Beyond or in one of the stores, and someone will have a scrub daddy, me and Brandon be in line, I go, how do you like that scrub daddy? They go, oh my God, I love it. It's great. I go, yeah, I know Aaron pretty well. And they go, you serious? I'll show a picture and I go, oh my God, I love this product. I love that. You really know him. So he's truly got this incredible following now. So it's nationally recognized, and I'm in Carolina at this store doing this. Right? It's not like I'm in somewhere local in Pennsylvania. So yeah, really really good stuff, Aaron.
Chris, you know this better than anything, right? The ultimate, really, it's not about the money anymore. It's what it's about it's about changing the world and having people love and really buy into your inventions. That's what feels the best. It's the total vindication for the inventor, is when you make a product and you thought it was good, but then the public verifies that it's good and they love it. That feeling is what I live for every day.
Can I ask a quick question? Hey, Aaron, how many years did it take to become a household brand? Because every inventor we come across tells us, oh, my product's going to be a household brand. Can you how long did it take?
I'm gonna tell you two things. One is, when you walk off Shark Tank, right? You already have a brand. You just hit 7 to 10 million people. And if you did it right, and your website doesn't crash and you have inventory, you could sell $1 million the night Shark Tank airs. And I think at that point you have the beginning of a brand. We became, I would say, a household brand somewhere 2 to 3 years in, when 4 or 5 of the big box retailers brought us in, like Walmart, Target, Lowe's, Home Depot, and Bed Bath. And then we started buying these Nielsen reports and IRI data. And when we hit over 50% brand awareness in the United States, I knew that we had a
50%. Oh my God, it's huge.
We're over that now. We're probably about 56%.
Wow. Yeah,
which is interesting, because what it means is half the country doesn't know what we are.
Yeah, that is scary, but the other half does, which is even great.
It means I have a lot of work to do. See, I told you, Chris, I can't stop. I have a lot of work to do.
No, I know. It's awesome. I don't know. You inspire me. I told you that already. Watching you go to work. I mean, look at him. He made time for us today. He's been busy, straight out. By the way, Megan's a good girl. I like Megan.
My personal assistant's the absolute gem. She's the best. And it's really, it's also one of the most important things. Like at the level we're at, if you don't have the right people in the right positions, there's no way to succeed. You can't do everything. Yeah, I still do. Listen, I'm still on the road. I have a flight to catch. I have to go to the airport like right now. Yeah. I got to go to the airport right now and catch a flight home, but I'm still out here. I'm losing my voice doing the Lowe's shows.
Yeah.
But I have Will out here with me, my chief strategy officer,
and your best friend,
and my best friend since I was 10 years old.
How cool is
There's
that?
Another great thing. If you can work with your best friend, that's probably the most fun you can have in life.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I got to run, guys.
All right, Aaron, as always, man, I appreciate you. You know that.
Thank you so much, my friend.
All right, be safe.
My pleasure, guys.
All right, talk to you soon.
Awesome.
All right, we're going to slide in now with my other man, Sean Murphy, the financial guru. You got
I'm on. Okay.
You're on, baby.